Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to talk about a really fundamentally important topic relevant to anyone living with cancer, in remission from cancer, surviving with cancer, and all of us, who are looking to do our utmost to help prevent cancer in ourselves and those we love. And it all comes down to something called SOD, S-O-D, which stands for superoxide dismutase. Okay, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about what SOD is, why it's so important, and the evidence around how it's been linked to better survival times, slower cancer invasion rates, better immunity, and lots of other variables relevant to better outcomes in cancer. Okay, so superoxide dismutase is an antioxidant enzyme. Okay, and it's the most powerful antioxidant operating in the body. It works in every single cell in the body. Every single cell in the body is impacted upon by superoxide dismutase. Okay, and that's key because what superoxide dismutase does is it neutralizes free radical damage, excess oxidative stress. And that's so important because excess free radical damage, oxidative damage is a key hallmark. It's a fundamental risk factor in the development, spread, and growth of cancer. And because of that clear link between the ability of SOD to inhibit that activity, there's been a lot of research trying to understand and correlate, well, what role does SOD play specifically in the cancer arena? What roles can it have upon improving outcomes in cancer? And if we look at that research and we summarize it, what we see is a really profound outcome because there have been dozens of studies done, both in labs, in petri dishes, in rodents, and also in humans, looking at this question: what role does superoxide dismutase play in better survivorship outcomes? And what we see, if we lump that research together, is firstly, when we have low levels of superoxide dismutase, when our levels are low, there's clear evidence that that facilitates a better environment for cancer cell growth, spread, and invasion. Okay, it makes it easier. It makes the tumor microenvironment, it makes it easier for that to behave the way it wants to behave in terms of cell division, growth, spread. Okay, but conversely, and what's key for us is that when we see high levels of superoxide dismutase, and we see an exponential effect here, when SOD levels, superoxide dismutase levels increase, what do we see? We see clinical published evidence that it helps to slow down cancer cell proliferation, it slows down spread, and it slows down invasion. There's clear evidence to link high levels of SOD with slower rates of metastases. And that's key because metastatic disease is responsible for over 80% of all cancer-related deaths. If we then correlate that to the survival data, the end goal, of living as long as we can in the best health as we can when we're living with cancer, we see again other data to show that when superoxide dismutase levels are high, particularly those that have very high levels, primarily through overhauling their diet, we see a clinically significant correlation between that and better and longer survival times compared to matched cohorts with the same diagnosis, the same prognosis, with low levels of superoxide dismutase, who typically die significantly sooner. Okay. So we see slower rates of growth, invasion, and progression. We see better survival times, and we also see much greater immune activity, specifically in the tumor microenvironment. So we've got the tumor environment. The more our immune cells can work and function specifically in that environment, we know we have much better tumor control, cancer burden control. So across the board, what we see is we need superoxide dismutase playing a profound role in controlling cancer to promote better outcomes. Okay, so because of that, we need to be harnessing these benefits, and it's easy to do. So superoxide dismutase is found in high concentrations in certain foods and also certain herbs. So here we're looking at the cruciform vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, are one of the highest sources of superoxide dismutase. We see nuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts, pecan nuts. We see melons, interestingly, cantaloupe melons, actually all melons, very high levels of SOD. Dark plums, red plums, Victoria plums, very high levels. Or cooked tomatoes, very high levels. And we also then see herbal medicines. Okay, so one of the reasons I talk so much about certain herbs in the context of cancer survivorship, herbs like triphala, okay, the Ayurvedic herbal formulation triphala, herbs like ashwagandha, herbs like turmeric, very high levels of concentrated superoxide dismutase. Okay, as always, if you're undergoing cancer treatment and you're before starting any herbal medicines, please do discuss them with your consultant to make sure there's no risk of interaction. But the bottom line is that if you're living with cancer, you need to be proactively and acting to make sure that every day you are consuming food sources and herb sources that are going to elevate your SOD levels because of the role it's going to play in optimizing cancer defense mechanisms. If you have any questions around that, if you have any specifics around that, please let me know in the comments. And as always, please do subscribe to the channel so you stay updated when these videos are released every week. Like I say, any questions, let me know, and I will see you soon.